So I'm here with another update. Some people get their visas refused because their letter of explanation isn't convincing enough. So first of all, the letter of explanation stands in place of you to tell the officer or to tell the visa officer what you are coming to Canada to do. Okay, so if your letter of explanation isn't convincing enough, your visa is likely to be rejected. Your visa is likely to be refused because your letter of explanation isn't convincing enough. So today I'm going to share with you guys what the letter of explanation entails. First things you need to do is to have a heading for your letter. You need to have a heading for your letter. For example, application for visa to study a postgraduate certificate in advanced photography at Lambton College. That is your heading, because your heading explains the body of your letter. Under it, you have a short introduction that goes like, I am writing this personal statement to apply for a Canadian visa to pursue a postgraduate certificate program in advanced photography at Lambton College of Applied Arts and Technology for the duration of 2 years. Simple introduction. No need to beat around the bush because they don't really have much time to read all what you send. So we keep it short and brief. Under it, one is personal. Under personal is about you. Personal is about yourself. You keep it short and brief. So under personal, you can go like, my name is so and so. I am a Ghanaian and I reside in, you mention the city you reside in Ghana or your country, okay? And you can go like, I am a highly motivated individual with a passion for learning. I have a passion for learning, okay? And I have always had a strong interest in art and capturing every best moment of it. That is an introduction or something personal about yourself, a little introduction about you, personal. So under personal, that's how you can go by it, okay? And the next one is education and profession. Education and profession. Under education and profession, you have to talk about your previous educational background, your previous educational background and your profession. These two have to have a link together, okay? For instance, I did art in school. I did my first degree in art, right? And I have the skills of being a graphic designer and a photographer, right? So under education and profession, I would state under it that I completed an HND. After HND, I did my first degree, okay? After my first degree, I did my national service. I have 2 years of my profession. I mean, you talk a little bit about it. Education and profession. You make it brief and simple, but it has to entail certain keywords like your school, like your profession duration, or maybe you have 2 years experience, 3 years experience on your field. Something about your education and profession. Simple and brief, okay? And now the next one is why the chosen field of study. Why the chosen field of study. Now under the why the chosen field of study, you have to explain to the officer why you have chosen that field. That field that you've chosen that you want to come and study in Canada. Why have you chosen that field? That field that you've chosen is because in the near future it's going to prepare you for the market, like the business market out there, okay? Or maybe in your past jobs it helped you gain more skills and you realize that you have more desires, you are motivated in that field. Something, something sharp and something convincing. Under the why the chosen field of study, you keep it brief, you keep it simple, but it has to be powerful to convince them that, okay, indeed, you know why you chose that field of study. The next one is why the chosen institution. Why the chosen institution. So the institution that you've gotten admission to, that you are coming to study, why did you choose that institution among all other institutions here in Canada. That is when you are going to convince the officer, the visa officer, that you know why you chose that college, or you know why you chose that institution. Okay, you have done your research and you know that, okay, I chose this institution because in my field of study, this institution carries more of like what I want to develop my skills, what I need to develop my skills. They have the resources that I think is going to improve me better and better for the future. Something good about your institution that you've chosen, why you chose that institution. Okay, so under the why I chose the institution, you explain why you chose the institution and the benefits you would get in the near future that this institution will give you. That was why you chose that institution. The next one is why I chose to study in Canada. Why did you choose to study in Canada? Why didn't you go to Germany? Why didn't you go to Australia, US, UK, China? But you chose to come to Canada. Why are you coming to Canada to study? Why did you choose to study in Canada? Here is where you also have to convince the visa officer why you chose Canada. Maybe based on your research that you did in the past, or based on your research that you've done among other countries, you realize that Canada is one of the best countries, or one of the best leading in the field of your study. Is the country leading in the field of your study that has all the necessary resources for you compared to other countries and their institutions. Canada has the best resources that you need on your field of study compared to other countries and their institutions, right? So why you chose to study in Canada, you have to give a reason, simple and straightforward reason that would convince the the officer that you know why you chose Canada. Okay, you know why you chose Canada. Now the next one is financial arrangement for your studies. Your financial arrangement for your studies. Here you are going to tell the officer in a brief your financial arrangement, because you are new here, the living expenses, the rent and everything. Who is going to cover it for you? Okay, I have a sponsor. My sponsor is going to cover for my arrangements, my financial arrangements here in Canada. My eating, my rent, my everything is going to be taken care of by my sponsor. Also, my sponsor has made at least like part payment of my tuition, which is, you state the amount of tuition that you are going to, or you have already made. You state it under your financial arrangement for your studies. You state the financial you state like the tuition that you've already paid under it. And if your sponsor is going to take care of your financial situation when you come to Canada, you state it there. And you also state that the other partial payment will be paid fully when you land in Canada and start your school. Under financial arrangement, you need to convince the officer that you don't have any problem whatsoever in terms of financials, in terms of money or whatever. You don't have any problem. You would survive very, very well, because even your bank statement states that you have the needed funds to facilitate your stay and your education here in Canada. You need, even if it's not like that, say it like that. Convince them that you know why you're coming to Ghana and your financial arrangement is well taken care of, so that he won't be like, oh, you don't have money and you'll be stranded here in Canada, so they would refuse you. No, even if you know you'll be stranded, you still have to state that your sponsor will take care of you. If it's not your sponsor and it's your work, like your job is taking care of it, you also state it. As simple as that. You don't need to beat around the bush. Just go straight to the straight forward to it. That your sponsor will take care of you. You've already made part payment of your tuition. You state the amount there, and you can also go like all the required documents to testify for my financial, stability have been attached to this application. That is your bank statement and all. No need to say a whole lot of things that, oh, when I come I'll look for work to do, and when I get work I'll start paying my fee. They will refuse to. Just go straight. My sponsor will take care of me. Everything is arranged. I've already made part payments. My bank statement stated. Simple. Lastly, plan after studies. What is your plan after studies? When you are done studying, what will you do? Are you going to stay, or are you going to go back to your country? This is the place they try to test you, right? Know your intentions. Are you truly coming to Canada to study, to develop your stuff, or you have a different agenda? Some people will be like, oh, after school, when I'm done with school, I will stay and work and get money and a whole lot of things. They are likely to refuse you, right? But you can go like, after my studies, I plan to your home country and resume your professional work. Okay, after your plans after the studies, when you are done studying in Canada, you are going to return back to your home country and study. Any agenda you have should be in your head. Any agenda you have should be in your head. It shouldn't be on a letter of explanation. Plan after studies. When you are done studying, you return back home to continue with your work back home, and maybe other things to convince them that when you are done, you return back home because you have a job back home, you have properties back home that you need to take care of, and a whole lot of things, right? But any extra agenda you have should be in your head. It shouldn't be on your letter of explanation. Okay.